everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Prepping by Faith, and today we're going to talk about the top 8 areas to prep before a cyber attack. So those areas are going to be water, food, medical, heat, a cooking source, light, power, and then self-defense. So let's get started on this. So the first thing I want to mention is water. So you're going to want plenty of jugs of water, cases of water, other types of potable water, which could include filling your bathtub and other open containers. And then you guys are going to want to have some sort of water filtration. It could be something like a Berkey. If you can't afford that, you could look at something like Sawyer Minis. You just need to have something to be able to filter water out with. And then the other thing is going to be food. We've already kind of covered that in my final food preps before a cyber attack. So if you missed that one, check it out. The other thing I wanted to mention is medical. So you're going to want to fill any of your prescription medications for as long as you can. If you can only go out 3 months because that's all insurance will allow, then at least do that. The other thing that you guys can do is think about herbal remedies for whatever ailment it is you have. My father is actually a diabetic. So one of the things that they've done is stocked up on this berberine. Berberine actually reduces your sugar naturally. Something else that he has a problem with is gout flaring. So this right here is alpha lipoic acid, and it's an anti-inflammatory, so it helps reduce that pain and that swelling and stuff that happens inside of his feet. You guys may also remember this from another video I did on hemorrhagic fever. This is actually something that is also good to protect your kidneys and your kidney function. So you guys might want to consider something like this. And by no means is this a medical advice. I'm not giving you guys medical advice. It's just something that I would do for myself and start thinking about. The other thing I have here is a first aid kit. This is just something I think everybody should have in their preps. This one's pretty basic. I got it from Sam's Club. And in a future video, I may go over additional, over-the-counter things that I think that we should have on hand for medical-related situations. And then something else I want to talk about is heat. So the first thing you're going to want to do is dress in layers. You're going to want to have something like a tent on hand. Plenty of blankets, things like sleeping bags, and I'm going to cover this in depth later on this week in my how to prepare for a situation where there is no heat in an SHTF. So how to keep warm in an SHTF is going to be coming out this week, so be on the lookout for that. And then I wanted to talk about a cooking source. So to me, one of the cheapest solutions would be having a charcoal grill. So you're going to want to have plenty of bags of charcoal on hand. You're going to want to have stuff like lighter fluid, and then you're going to need ways of lighting that. So you're going to want things like these lighters here. You're going to want matches, stuff like that. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is if you have a gas stovetop, you can still use that as long as gas is still flowing in. So you could light that gas so you can have your flame going. Same thing with a natural gas fireplace. There are ways of still lighting that. We're going to be covering that also in my video that's going to be coming out. And then I wanted to talk about light. Well, you know what? Let's go back to the cooking source. 1 second. I wanted to talk about this real quick. So you need to think about tools that you're going to need as far as cooking things. You're going to want stuff like a Dutch oven, a cast iron skillet, things like that that are going to work really well on an open flame. Your regular pots and pans you can't use on those kinds of surfaces, so you need to have something like that on hand. And then I wanted to talk to you guys about light. We're going to need things like this right here is just a solar lantern, and I would suggest you have solar, but you also have some battery operated options as well, just a battery operated flashlight. You want plenty of extra batteries on hand. I also have, here's another little one. This one is solar, and it's also got the hand crank. You want to have an emergency radio on hand. This one is solar, but it also has the hand crank on it too. So you need something like that that's pretty versatile. I would suggest also having some candles. You can get these cheap ones like this from the dollar store. And then the nice thing about this is that you still have this jar when you're done that you can reuse and repurpose for other things. So I would suggest those as far as light. And then when we're talking about moving on to power, I really feel like you guys need to have something, oh, this guy's heavy, this like this jackery here, just because I feel like solar is going to be a better option in a long-term SHTF situation. Gas generators are louder, and then you have to store all of that gas. And then with the way that the gas prices are headed that direction, I don't think that's going to be very economical for people. And then, you know, you might not even be able to find it. So I would suggest start saving now toward a solar generator if you can't afford it, or maybe even consider using your tax refund to get that, that big purchase made. And then the other thing, the last thing I want to talk about are self-defense tools. This one right here is a PCC. It's a pistol caliber carbine. It's lightweight. It only weighs about 4.5 pounds before you add a clip. It uses 9mm and Glock magazines, so you can get larger clips for it. And then obviously you also want to have plenty of ammo on hand for that self-defense tool. So these are kind of just the main categories that I think we should talk about. There definitely are others, one of which would be hygiene. So I do have a couple videos out on that as well. If you guys missed how to keep your home clean in an SHTF or how to keep yourself clean in SHTF, you might want to check those out. And then the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is just having some sort of family preparedness conversations. I think that's going to be really important, because if we lose communication with each other, we need to already have a plan in place. If your spouse doesn't work from home or your children are in school, have you had those conversations with them about how they're to react in that situation? Are your kids supposed to wait until you come and get them? Is your spouse supposed to just head home, or do you have another meetup location in place? Just start talking about these things now so they know how to handle that situation when it arises. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And remember to pray, prep, and put God first. God bless.